On this episode of Cumberland Rover, the creek with two names and the islands you don't get to see, at least not on this one. I go for a sail, stop for a beer, and predictably end up splashing around in the creek.
Soon may the wellerman come, bring us coffee, tea, and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, take our leave and go. At a fairness on the town, her hair was blonde and her dress was brown. Soon may the wellerman come around.
Taylor Creek is a protected inlet of the Cumberland River's Lake Barkley Reservoir. It's surrounded by woods and rising terrain on all sides and has two distinct rabbit ears, one to the north and one to the south. Launching my 12-foot home-built skiff from the back of the north ear, there's definitely some wind present, but it's hard to get a read on what the true wind direction is. Back in a very protected, narrow creek like that, the wind just tends to swirl around and shift randomly. I began rowing towards the mouth of the creek where a pair of small islands are located. The islands are not shown on this chart. As I draw near the mouth, it becomes clear the wind is predominantly out of the north. Bobbing in the lee of a point just a few hundred meters west of the Sad Islands, I've reached a crossroads. I take a moment to assess conditions and weigh my options. I can continue rowing upwind for the Sad Islands, or I can set sail for the southern ear of the creek. The Sad Islands have a way of drawing me in, but I've been there many times, and the wind is perfect. I decide just to go with the wind, running down the southern ear of the creek. My older charts refer to the southern ear as Brush Creek, but contemporary ones just refer to both ears as Taylor Bay. To my mind, a steady breeze 8 to 10 miles an hour with relatively flat water are the perfect conditions for sailing any of my little boats. Coming into the lee of the narrow ridge that separates the north and south ears of the creek, I begin to lose speed. Riding the random puffs, I reach a small cove near the back of Brush Creek and decide it's time for lunch. With the bow parked on the muddy bank, I'm surrounded by chattering songbirds and rustling sycamore and birch. Only a short distance from the back of the southern ear, I reach Brush Creek proper after a few minutes of rowing. The mouth is stagnant and muddy as a result of lake water, and I can't tell if there's really much rain runoff coming down the creek. So once you get above lake level in these small feeder streams, the water becomes very clean and cold, as it's all rainwater, or a few of these streams, a limited number, are spring fed by small springs. Can't really feel any current, There's some chubs in this one, which are a type of minnow, and I think I saw a very small sunfish. Regardless of where you are in the United States or in the world, I don't know, but I would think you would have access to a creek like this with clear water, surrounded by woods, and these places are everywhere, and they often go unnoticed. People don't really know about them anymore. Some of the old timers, old country people, will know about these places, and I occasionally run into them out here. But it's just a nice place to be, even if you don't have big water that's really suitable for boating. There's a good chance you have something like this, a woodland stream. It's as simple as pulling up a map or GPS and just seeing what you can find and go and scout it out. But of course, you need to know if it's open to the public or if you can get permission to go there. I still remember a field trip I took in 4th grade to a creek much like this one, and our class was just allowed to wade and splash and explore over a monitored section of the creek, monitored by the teachers. And that makes me think a place like this is really a great place to take kids, to expose them to the outdoors and to nature, and to learn about quicksand. Quicksand is real, and you're guaranteed to see wildlife. Frogs, minnows. I just saw a goldfinch flying low over the water, and I even saw a white-tailed deer, a doe, coming down the hillside, and she didn't even know I was here. And even if you don't have a boat, a creek like this is a very accessible place just to enjoy the water and the woods, and all you really need is the right pair of shoes. I would go with anything made out of EVA foam. Could be Crocs. I like these shoes that are called Flofers. They're getting kind of hard to come by in what I would consider a suitable color scheme, but maybe that doesn't matter to you. They're kind of they're a moccasin with made from modern materials, made from EVA foam, or maybe even Chacos, but I really want something that'll stay on your foot. And no matter what, you're gonna get sand and rocks in your shoes, but you'll just learn as you go how to kind of drain and flush out all the sediment. It's kind of a process when you're creek walking. You're constantly, you figure out how to adapt your gait to flush out your shoes. And people have asked me if there are snakes in this region, and yeah, there are a lot of snakes. There are 4 species of venomous snakes, so you do have to be careful and constantly watch the ground. If you're out in any kind of brush like this, just walk slow and watch the ground. I've never really had any really close calls. I've gotten near snakes that I didn't see, but it's not been an issue thus far. Pennants are now available at cumberlandrover.com. Historically flown for signal purposes, a pennant is that indescribable something that your boat is missing. They can help you read the wind increase visibility of your small craft, and they just look cool, fluttering from the masthead or yard of a lug sail. You can have any color you want, as long as it's bright red. I have 2 styles of pennant now available at cumberlandrover.com.